Okay. As of today, we've been together about 6 years and 209 days. I remember that morning when I asked her to be my girlfriend, and I had this whole thing planned perfectly in my head. We were going to wake up before the sunrise, get in the car. We were going to grab hot coffee on the way to this park. When we got there, we sat down on the edge of this grass where it meets this small lake, and we talked and watched the sunrise together. It wasn't perfect though. That morning, I learned that Sharon doesn't like waking up early, and she'd probably sleep all day if she could. I also learned she doesn't drink coffee, so I got her a hot apple cider, which turned out to be too sweet for her. When the moment came and I asked her, she actually said no at first, just to mess with me, which worked, and just as I reacted, she took it back and said yes. Thinking back at that moment, I realized that that's actually a perfect analogy for our relationship. See, Sharon and I are, to my knowledge, the two most opposite people on the planet. We don't think alike, we don't have any hobbies in common, we mostly have different opinions on virtually anything, which has always been the basis for our many arguments and fights. And no matter how it may seem to our friends and family, my relationship with Sharon is actually anything but perfect. There's a sonnet that Shakespeare wrote about loving a girl that was not perfect. And in that poem, he compares her to a flawless girl and what a flawless girl would be like, and describes her as anything but that. See, it's the idea of perfection. The vision of this girl who's everything you can want and more. It doesn't exist, at least not in absolutes. Sure, she's no supermodel. Her sense of humor sometimes doesn't actually make any sense. She does this thing where she generalizes based on one-time observations. And she's got other quirks that range from little annoyances to things that she does that drive me nuts. And yes, we bicker, we argue, we fight, but either through passing time or honest realizations, we eventually make up. We comfort each other, we admit our faults at least most of the time. At the end of the day, the single common denominator for all of this is love. And not that kind of in-the-moment love that gives you butterflies and makes your senses all fuzzy, but the pragmatic, realistic kind of love. The one that says, despite our oppositeness and our imperfections, I do want to spend the rest of my life with this girl. And not because she's everything I want and more, but simply because I want this with her. I'm in this with her. So today is the day I asked her to marry me. It may not be perfect like how I envisioned it to be, but neither is our relationship, and neither us as individuals. And yet, by heaven, I think my love is rare, as any she belied with false compare.
Ready for high tea? Can I open now? Can I see? No. Stop lying.
Do you want to marry me?